Welcome to the debate. We're really standing at a crossroads in 2026. The sheer volume of data and the velocity of modern risk have basically made traditional governance obsolete. The question today is integrating advanced artificial intelligence into governance, risk, and compliance platforms the only way to survive? Or by handing the keys to an algorithm, are we introducing fatal flaws that undermine the exact stability we're trying to protect? I'm taking the position that AI-driven continuous control monitoring is the necessary evolution.
And I'm taking the position that we are moving way too fast. Until we solve the black box problem, where we literally can't see how the AI reaches its conclusions, and fix our fundamental data quality issues, embedding AI into governance creates more risk than it solves. We are trading human accountability for, well, algorithmic convenience.
Let's start with the reality of the landscape right now. The old model of the point-in-time audit, guys in suits looking at spreadsheets once a year, is completely dead. Look at the regulatory pressure we're under: DORA for digital resilience, NIS2, the EU AI Act. These aren't static checklists anymore. They require real-time reaction. This is why I champion continuous control monitoring, or CCM. We need systems that use AI to score risk as it happens. If you aren't using AI to automatically map these massive overlapping regulations to your internal controls, you are effectively non-compliant by default. The human brain just cannot process that volume anymore.
I get the efficiency argument. On paper, it looks like a silver bullet. But GRC isn't just about speed, it's about absolute precision. We are seeing real evidence of AI hallucinations, where the model simply fabricates facts to fill a gap.
But those are edge cases.
Worse than edge cases. Regulators are flagging what they call sycophantic outputs. The AI analyzes your prompt and tells you what it thinks you want to hear, rather than the hard, uncomfortable truth. Traditional methods are slower, yes, but they provide a verifiable audit trail. When you let a neural network obscure the decision-making process, you lose the human accountability that is the very bedrock of governance.
I see why you think that, but let me give you a different perspective on the trade-off between speed and risk. You're focused on those outliers and ignoring the massive gains in the center. Let's talk about fraud specifically. Data from the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners shows that organizations implementing CCM can reduce median fraud losses by 40 to 60%.
Yeah, but at what cost?
Because the AI catches the anomaly instantly. In your manual cycle, that fraud compounds for 6 months before an auditor catches it. Statistically, the risk of a hallucination is significantly lower than the guaranteed cost of human latency.
That's a compelling argument regarding fraud, I'll admit. But have you considered the liability aspect? Speed is irrelevant if the direction is wrong. A recent archive study analyzed major frameworks like NIST CSF 20.0 and ISO 42001. Their conclusion? These frameworks still lack sufficient controls for LLM hallucinations.
Right, but
if your AI lies about your compliance status, if it hallucinates a control that doesn't actually exist, the regulator isn't going to find the chatbot. They're going to find you. You're introducing a massive liability that simply didn't exist before.
I'm not entirely convinced by that line of reasoning because it assumes the AI is operating in a vacuum. We aren't just automating checklists here. We are talking about predictive capability, moving from reactive to proactive. For example, modern AI can predict a third-party vendor failure by analyzing financial news and social sentiment weeks before a breach actually occurs.
Right.
That is intelligence a human team physically cannot gather and synthesize in real time. You're ignoring the immense value of that foresight.
I'm sorry, but I just don't buy that. That foresight is an illusion without a pristine data fabric. We have to address the garbage in, garbage out principle. Most enterprises in 2026 still have data that is siloed, fragmented, or heavily biased.
Sure.
If you feed that mess into a predictive model, the AI doesn't fix it. It amplifies those errors at scale. You end up trusting a prediction based on flawed inputs. You're basically building a skyscraper on quicksand.
Even if the data isn't perfect, consider the administrative alternative. We have to map the EU AI Act, GDPR, and diverse state laws in the US to our internal controls. It's a matrix of thousands of requirements. AI is the only tool capable of handling that mapping.
But that creates a recursive paradox. You now need strict governance of the AI under the EU AI Act before you can use the AI for governance. You are effectively doubling your administrative burden. You need a new layer of oversight just to police the tools that were supposed to save you time. It's a snake eating its own tail.
It's a learning curve, not a paradox. To wrap up, I firmly believe GRC must evolve into a strategic advisor. We have to use AI to provide forward-looking intelligence rather than relying on backward-looking reporting. The velocity of risk demands it.
And I conclude that while automation is useful, human-in-the-loop oversight is strictly non-negotiable. We cannot automate away accountability, and until we solve the black box problem, AI remains a tool, not a replacement.
A complex issue for every modern enterprise. We encourage you to evaluate your own risk appetite regarding AI adoption. Thank you for joining the debate.